Hello again, everybody. I'm Paul Hart, and welcome back to What's the Big Idea? The digital content you're about to see is meant to demonstrate teamwork, technology, problem solving, and applied learning. We intend to communicate how we at Eastview are making connections with the students, the school, and the community. If you like what you see, please share it with others. You can find us by accessing Google. Type in D300 Eastview. After all, as we learn to use our technology more effectively, we're learning too. Welcome once again to What's the Big Idea? I'm Paul Hart. This series of webcasts comes to you from Eastview School of Algonquin, Illinois, and our hope is to communicate some of the effective and successful strategies that help our students make connections. Today we have Peg Schramuk, second grade teacher, with us. Hi, Peg.
Hi, Paul.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've worked in the district this is my 23rd year. I have been at Eastview for 13 years, all in second grade. I originally started out teaching middle school math. I did a few years in 4th grade, and then the rest has been all in 2nd grade. The
big idea today surrounds project-based learning in the classroom. Peg, how have you used project-based learning situations in your classroom?
Well, typically, the big projects that a 2nd grader might do exist mostly in the area of science. At the beginning of the year, we do a big dinosaur unit, and they would have to do a dinosaur report and a project to go with that particular unit. At the end of the year, we have a big animal unit, and we do basically transform the room into a giant rainforest, as well as all of the 2nd grade hallway and so forth. And to accompany that, the children have to write a report on an animal, not necessarily an animal that lives in the rainforest, however, and again do a report and a project to go along with that animal.
We did reports on animals in the rainforest, like sloths, hummingbirds, jaguars, and toucans.
We did projects and we learned about fun things.
I remember studying different species of animals, and there were even jungle sound effects.
Now, what kinds of decisions do the students get to make in the course of this project on the plant rainforest unit?
Okay. Well, as I said, it initially starts out where the students are learning about animals. And we talk about the 6 animal groups, ranging from mammals all the way to insects. We then incorporate the rainforest unit as part of this animal unit. Thus, the kids are learning about some of the animals that are living at the 4 layers of the rainforest, and why these animals are important, why the rainforests are important for our total existence. They are asked to report on an animal. Not necessarily an animal, as I said, that lives in the rainforest, but they get to choose. Now, what I would do is I would have so many students report on a mammal, so many students report on a reptile, amphibian, fish, insect, so that we don't have a whole collection of just, say, mammals. And then they would also do a project to go along with that report.
So at the end of this project, when it's all wrapped up, you've done this a few years, what do your students seem to remember the most?
Well, they probably remember, first of all, the 4 layers of the rainforest, and typically some of the animals that would live in each layer of the rainforest. Hopefully beyond that, they would also remember the importance of the rainforest and what we hope to gain from the rainforest, such as perhaps some medicines that we could perhaps find from the rainforest, and that we're still looking for a cure for cancer. I certainly go over with them that there are plants and animal life found every single day, and what impact they could possibly have on all of us in our environment.
Now, how does bringing parents into the project seem to help it along?
Well, we do transform the hallway into a rainforest as well, so they can utilize the materials already made plus add on. And so the hallway is obviously given the illusion of the tropical rainforest as well. But the kids see that their parents are involved, and when the hallway goes up, and of course when the room gets done and the kids walk in, they're you know, typically what they've done to begin with is they're making all these chains so that we give the illusion of the you know, the canopy layer of the rainforest. And then, of course, I embellish it by bringing out all my puppets and hanging them into the rainforest. They bring in their animals as well, as long as they obviously are animals that live in a rainforest. We actually make a bromelade plant that that grows in the rainforest, and we talk about that the frogs that live in this bromelade might actually never go to the ground. They can spend their whole life living in this bromelade. We also make tissue paper flowers to emulate the types of beautiful flowers that grow in the rainforest. And typically the upper layer would have the more brightly colored flowers. So first graders get a glimpse at looking at what they get to look forward to in the next year.
Yeah, and I can tell you the older children in the school remember. It brings it all back for them.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's good.
What's the first response that the students give when they see this entire environment for the first time?
Well, usually you get the oohs and the ahs, even from the hallway. So before school has started, they're like, look at our room, and you know, and so they are very excited about coming in and really looking at the animals that have been placed and looking at the things that they prepared.
The halls were decorated green like a rainforest, and there is paper leaves all over the wall. And the lights were green too.
I remember that the lights were all green and there were toy plastic monkeys.
Why are you so committed to producing a project like this here at Eastview?
Well, I think ultimately we would certainly like the kids to learn about the animal life that lives in the rainforest and as well as the plant life. They also learn about all the different things that come from a rainforest that they, you know, typically might not know about, all the foods and the spices and perfumes and medicines. I often tell the kids that about a former teacher who used to work here, and I tell them the story about how her husband had cancer, and that his treatment included medicine that came from a plant in the rainforest.
It's a practical, real-life application for the children when they can make
so,
that connection. Sure.
So that they realize. And then as a culminating part of the unit, we do a big play, and several of the plays are, you know, some are very fun, but also I think that when you have all of these different kinds of things going on, it really enhances their learning.
I remember we were studying about plants, about the rainforest, and there were neat sound effects, like the toucans.
We created windows, and when we looked out of them, we saw the flowers we studied.
Kids were dressed up like animals, and some were even in a play.
Finally, what do you think your students take with them as they leave second grade and move on to third grade each year?
Well, the hope is that they will really have learned about many of the animals that live in the rainforest, and mostly, as I said, that we need to do all that we can to help protect the rainforest and save it.
Absolutely. Well, that's going to about do it for What's the Big Idea webcast number 2. Thanks for being here today, Peg. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Sure. I'm Paul Hart.